Communicating with police. Christine Donato talks about her experience communicating with police to Pamela Cross, lawyer.
I think we've all heard stories about experiences that individual people have had when they've tried to access, say, a lawyer for advice or have gone to the police to report a crime. Sometimes those are stories with happy endings and sometimes not. I know a story I heard recently about a woman with a communication disability who was sexually assaulted by a taxi driver in her home. And he actually said to her, "Oh, I thought you'd want it," which is pretty outrageous itself. She initially didn't do anything and then saw on the news that this guy had been charged with assaulting another woman with a disability. And of course, there's every likelihood that this guy has a pattern, that he has been methodically assaulting women with disabilities and assuming he would get away with it because, as we've already talked about in our conversation, often people with disabilities, especially with communication disabilities, are reluctant to go to the police. So, that's the bad ending story. But Christine, you were talking to me a few minutes ago about a situation where you had to give a statement to the police and things went quite well. Can you talk to us a bit about that?
Yeah, without going into details, I did have to give a statement and I was quite impressed. Everything that we talked about with communication disabilities, like going to a quiet place to talk, really focusing on a person, everything that we already said, the officer did. He took me to a quiet room. He listened to my statement. He looked for clarification if he didn't understand. He didn't assume that he knew what I said. He asked me a couple times just to be sure that he had the whole story right. So I was quite impressed. So, yeah.
Did you feel like the officer allowed you enough time?
Oh yeah, definitely. He told me to take my time, and even when he was going over the questions again, he made sure I was comfortable, and that he wasn't looking for me to repeat it because he didn't believe it. He wanted me to repeat it because he wanted to make sure he got it right.
So you felt believed?
Oh, definitely.
Well, it's great to hear those stories because so often that's not the case.
It is.
I think when we're trying to talk about how to make things better, we tend to focus on where the problems are, but I think it's also important to acknowledge that there are great police officers, there are great lawyers. Mm-hmm. There are lots of attendant care providers who do an excellent job, who are respectful, who are not the least bit abusive with their clients and so on.
For more information, visit our website